Welcome to the 7th episode of Cartridge Chronicles, the podcast where we dust off the cartridges, blow on them, whether that helped or not, and dive deep into the games that shaped us. I'm Questmaster Prime, and today myself and my co-host Mars Attack are going to talk about a game that was based on arguably one of the greatest entertainers of all time, the great Michael Jackson. It is the 1990s, so grab your fedora, find a stray dog for backup, and make sure your white glove is cinched tight. We are headed to Club 30 to see if we can save the kids and stop Mr. Big, one spin kick and hee-hee at a time. We're going to be discussing MoonWalker, developed for the arcades and for the Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and Master System. All right, so I am here with Mars Attack. And today we're going to go over a game that's based off arguably one of the greatest entertainers of all time, Michael Jackson's MoonWalker. So
he's the king of pop, at least for some of you who probably don't know. Yeah, he was monikered the king of pop because of his worldwide success. Michael Jackson the world basically watched this kid be a prodigy of singing, from singing with his family, growing up, and then growing into a world superstar. And so, like anybody, you want to talk about people who deserve video games because of how famous they were. Like, he got a video game because of how famous he was.
And that's the crazy thing about this game. Like, you don't see any other singer getting a video game. Like, not even in this day and age. Like, you don't see, like, Beyonce getting a video game. You don't see, I'm trying to think of, like, recent performers. Like, you don't see them as big getting a game like this. Like, he got a game.
I mean, yeah, but I think that's also a testament to how huge he was. Like, I don't think, at least in my lifetime, we'll ever see anybody who was as huge as Michael Jackson. Just to give again some background, like, this man he was the first artist, black artist, African American artist, whose videos were shown on MTV. Yes. This was in the 80s. Like, you think, again, it's not that long ago, at least in my eyes. Like, MTV used to only show white artists, and now it's a far cry. MTV is no longer anymore, but like, he was the first artist the black artist that was able to show a video, and it was a Thriller video. Before that, a lot of the artists, like one of the artists, Herbie Hancock, I'll just give a name, he had videos, but he would never show himself. Yeah. And that was the only way he could get played on MTV. Like, it's crazy. So this guy, again, Michael Jackson, is so large, commands so much, of popular culture. He gets a video on MTV and it shocks the world. And you're familiar with Thriller, or if you're not familiar with Thriller, you will be familiar with Thriller.
Yeah,
there are multiple, like, even his videos would have world premieres, meaning they would show them at a specific time at night for every family in America to watch. Like, name an artist that they do that now. Yeah.
Do you remember? We had Thriller, of course, but then there was another one that came out on Halloween, and it was this big promotion, right?
I think it was for the haunted house. Captain EO. That was for the movie Captain EO.
No, it was another. Well, he was like in a haunted house, but he was dressed up like a white. The teacher was a teacher with these kids, and he was the teacher. The teacher was this white, overweight guy, but it was actually Michael Jackson. That was from that.
Yeah,
okay,
that was from Captain EO. Yep.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
And
Yeah.
that was from a Disney World had a or Universal Studios had a ride for Michael Jackson, which was the Captain EO ride
Ah, yes.
for
Okay.
Michael
Yeah, I
Jackson.
remember that. Yeah.
So
Yes.
like I don't know a pop star today who has a ride at Disney World or Disneyland, So yeah, he's one of the greatest just pop stars the world has ever seen across the globe. I've never seen, they would show videos of him at concert. Every concert he ever had, people are falling out left and right. Uh,
Yes.
men, grown men, women, children, it didn't matter. Everywhere he went around the globe, he was respected. Um, Even to bring up to one of his like current, the on the not even current. We'll go back to 1984 on that particular album. The song "Beat It." He's working with gangs in
Yeah.
a city to be in a video, and they're like, "Yeah, Michael Jackson will be in your video." They're like rival gangs,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, bring it up to even in his one of his last albums before he died. It was the History album, and in Brazil, he's in the favelas, the gangs there, allowing him to film with no issue, saying like, "No, you won't have a problem here." So everywhere he goes in the world, everybody knows the name Michael Jackson,
Yeah. I
and
mean, he's a
no,
global
and
sensation, like you said. Yeah.
yeah, and so to have a video game just kind of seems like the icing on the cake, you know, like not even
Yeah.
a. I would say it's not even the biggest piece of who like his stardom, because this was just it was just like one of those things like, you know what, Michael, you got commercials, you got merchandise. Like I actually had Michael Jackson dolls. Like they would have
Yeah.
the
I remember
different sets
those.
from
Yeah.
Thriller, from Billie
Yeah.
Jean. I remember I had the one that was Michael Jackson from the 1980, like the Billie Jean video.
Yeah.
My sister had a Thriller Michael Jackson. So there were all these different like just all kinds of merchandise. This was just another avenue, the video games, because that was the other thing. At this time, arcade games uh, are becoming more popular, and so Michael Jackson was like, "Let me hop on the next big thing," which was this arcade game. Which I remember seeing this game as a kid, and one not really understanding what was going on, but just amazed that Michael Jackson had a video game. Michael Jackson had an arcade game, and then they translated it into the Genesis game later on down the line. But this guy was so popular,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
around the globe, and he's got a movie coming out soon. A new movie coming out about him soon. I think it's
Yeah.
just going to be like the first half of his solo career. But
It's
like I
his
said,
nephew. His nephew is playing him.
yeah, but this is something, this person, Michael Jackson, is someone that America watched grow up singing and just being, again, a child prodigy with a voice that no one compared to.
And not only
And
could he sing, he could dance too.
he
Like
could do
great
that.
dancer. Yeah.
So what he did with his gifts and abilities, and it was basically out of this world. Like through the 80s and 90s, people thought this guy was an alien. Like
Yeah.
that's how crazy
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Like I remember people thinking he was like an alien because there was no way this person could garner so much attention and do the things that he was doing to perfection. It was insane. And so here we are talking about a just a little piece of who
Yeah.
Michael Jackson was in this video game.
Yeah. I mean, for what we already said, like he's done so much. This is just maybe 1% of what he's done in
Yeah.
his
career. Like you said, people thought he was an alien, like that whole smooth criminal dance where he just like leans forward,
Yeah, and
and people are like, "How's he do that?
you know what?
What's
It was almost
possible?"
like it's almost like a magician, right?
Yeah, yep,
And I really like magic, like looking at that stuff because those people have a skill
yeah,
and they have to practice so hard to be good at it. So much so that it looks effortless. And that's what he
yes,
did was everything he did, he made you believe that he wasn't practicing 24/7, 365, which he was.
yeah. He was. That was his. That was his. I mean, that's his life. That's all he
Yeah.
knew almost. I mean, he did it since he's a kid.
Yeah. And so you're like, this person is such a great performer. Every show that he did was sold out.
Yep.
You know,
Have you ever been to one
and
of his shows? Have
I've
you ever
never
been to one?
been.
No,
No,
yeah, I
I've
haven't
never
either. I've been
been.
trying. I was trying. Yeah.
You know what they would normally do, at least back in the late '80s, is they would show like you like get a premium channel like Showtime or HBO or something like that. They would, because they are taping the concerts, they would like play the concert later. So like I do remember, I think it was the Bad tour.
Oh
Um,
yes, I
I
remember that.
saw that. I saw that on like HBO or Cinemax or something like that. But again, this is, he's traveling the world and this is another thing at a time where they're recording his concerts, they're recording the audience. And one of the things that I always love about or look for in live performances is, do you sound the same live as you if you do like on the recording, on the record?
Right, right.
And he sounded the same.
Yeah. He
And
never,
that
he
was
never changed the way he looked or sounded
Yeah,
on
was
on
his
stage.
voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
his voice was just so pure that wherever you were, whenever he was singing, I mean, this guy did an episode of The Simpsons, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's a pop icon. He is, entrenched in America, in
Yes.
Americana because of what he's done. And I don't like us in my lifetime. I don't think I'll ever see another Michael Jackson. You know,
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think there's going to be another. I don't see anybody coming close to the start of Michael Jackson. What Michael
yeah.
Jackson, he's done
And so,
so much. Yeah.
yeah, and so to have a video game is just another feather in his cap. It's
Yes.
like I have a video game, and even for the people who know like some of the Sonic the Hedgehog, the music, like him wanting to be able to work on that, like he was very forward looking in a lot of the stuff that he wanted
They
to get
said
into.
they said he did. He did was uncredited. So there is
Yeah.
some rumor that he did Sonic the Hedgehog 3. He did some contributions to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. He
Yeah.
some of his music, and you kind of can hear it, like you can hear his beat in some of the music. You hear like a
Yeah.
Michael Jackson esque.
Well, you definitely can hear it on like the first Sonic the Hedgehog. Like you can hear
Oh
like who
yeah,
the
yeah,
person who like was very inspired by Michael Jackson. But again, because he's such a world phenomenon, it's just like a lot of people like wanted to emulate or show what they could do with him. And yeah, man, to have again Disney ride at Disney Universal. Well, I don't even think Universal was around then. It was like just Disney World
yeah. It wasn't Universal
to
yet. Yeah.
to come out with movies like so. The game we're talking about is MoonWalker, right?
Yes.
But it's actually based on a movie released by Michael Jackson for MoonWalker for the Bad album, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and the album Bad, again, this is one of those, he did a video that came on like at 8 o'clock, at night, Eastern Standard Time. They released it and like right before I don't know, maybe the news or something, and every house in America got to watch the bad video, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And so it's just, again, this crazy thing is like this man is like, and this is his second or his third solo album. That is his third solo album.
Yeah.
And so it's just like,
Yeah.
man, like, this guy is releasing videos for everyone to see. Like, America basically shuts down to watch this man's videos.
Yeah, it's
And
like
so,
the presidential
yeah, exactly.
presidential thing, when he shut off everything for Michael Jackson.
Exactly. And so Moonwalker is I guess it would be almost like, think for modern day when Beyonce did Lemonade and she did all those videos, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Moonwalker is the first time we get that kind of production. You got the album come out, you have Moonwalker the movie, and then
Yep.
we got Moonwalker the video game. So there's this whole push for this basically just this album.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And it also, because at the time, this is in the late 80s, there is a big anti-drug push, and Michael was very against drugs, and he was also really caring about children. So in the Moonwalker movie, the main villain is a drug pusher.
Yes.
And so it's basically an anti-drug movie, but also a videography, like just a showcase of different videos for the Bad album.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was kind of like an advertisement for that. Like an advertisement for the entire music album. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I also look at like Purple Rain is the same thing.
Oh yeah.
It's the movie is just a big long music video, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what this was just a bunch of music videos with a little bit of a story for the Bad album, right?
Yes. Yes.
So this is it's 1989 when this came out. And we're, Michael Jackson, again, this is his third album. He looks different. That's the other thing.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
From his second album, Thriller. And he definitely looks way different than from his first album, Off the Wall.
Yeah.
But he when we finally see him on the Bad album, he's got basically a biker outfit on with a lot of like chains and whips. He was going for kind of like this the bad boy image.
Yeah.
And you even get that in the music. And the Moonwalker is a reference back to, he did this, one of the things he did that changed the world was called the Moonwalk. And he did it at the 1984 Grammys. And he was doing Billie Jean, and he's doing the song, and he does this moonwalk across the stage and basically shuts down the house, because it's not the first time that anyone who's ever done that particular move, but it's the first time that somebody's done it on the world stage. And so that particular dance, or say dance, but it's actually like a slide. Everybody in the world wants to know how to do it. It's trying to do it. It's incorporated. Like if you watch Back to the Future, if you watch any movies back then, everybody's trying to do that particular move.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
And again, just the power of this guy is he does one thing and everybody wants to do it.
Well,
let me ask
you though, like the dancing, right? Did you have? I had this when I was a kid. It was the Alfonso Ribeiro dance instruction kit. Did you get that? Did you have that too?
Nope,
Where it
I
teaches
did
you how to
not.
dance like Michael. You know,
Nope, but I
Fonzo
remember it.
Ribeiro, like you remember it though,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I remember it.
Like it was teaching you how to do the moonwalk in that video,
Yeah,
or all his moves. Uh, you know, of course, Alfonso Ribeiro was in the Coke, or was it Pepsi? Pepsi commercial with
Pepsi.
Michael Jackson. Was it Pepsi commercial?
It was Pepsi.
Yeah, it was Pepsi. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he was like a miniature Michael Jackson, and
and
he got popular from that, and then he had his own little video that you can rent or buy. So I was wondering if you had that. Go ahead, talk about the dancing.
no, I mean, but that's the thing is this guy, everything this guy did, Michael Jackson, people wanted to do it. And it was like just again, it was otherworldly to see him do that on the stage at the Grammys.
It's like he's floating,
Yeah, you know, it was
floating on
like,
the stage. It's weird.
and it got
Awesome though.
called,
Awesome.
yeah, and it was called the Moonwalk, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so and that became basically his signature move.
Yep.
And so everything that, you know, Michael Jackson, that it was associated with Michael Jackson would be him doing that move. And even how his production company, I think it's actually him, like his feet, you see his feet doing the moonwalk.
He does it effortlessly. Just
Yeah, but it's just
no.
like a picture of his
Yeah.
feet doing the moonwalk. And
Yeah.
so like that's his signature move. And he did it on again at the Grammys, and it swept the world. Everybody wanted to learn how to do it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So calling this movie Moonwalker is pointing back to that, and also trying to make, like, if you watch it, it's definitely saying that Michael Jackson is not from this world,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you get elements of that in the game. So it's playing on the idea that everybody thought this guy is not from Earth. He can't be from Earth because of how he's doing stuff and because
Yeah.
of how effortlessly he's able to perform. So he's just playing on that he's not from here. So we
You
should
gotta think
probably get into
about
the
it
game.
too.
Yeah.
We'll get to the game. Yeah, he's just such a great
Yeah.
performer. It's hard to like not. It's hard
And
to
it's
like
so,
not
yeah,
mention it
he's got,
without mentioning how great he was.
yeah.
Yeah, he was. He's been performing though since he was what 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
Like he's been performing on the world stage. Well, I would say world stage when he was. Well, I guess so. When he was younger,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was pretty. I mean, he was always in the limelight, and he was always working. Right, always performing. So, like, if you start that
Jackson.
young, you're going to be. I mean, not everybody that starts young is great as Michael, but Michael was a perfectionist. Like he had to
Yeah.
get things right. So that was another reason he was so good. He just wanted things to be perfect. So that's why he always looked like it was effortlessly. He used to like hate on himself. He like, I wasn't that great. And it would be like the best dance move ever. He did like, that's not that good. He would be modest. He'd be very modest. I remember him in like
Yeah.
interviews where he's extremely modest.
And like
But
that's the thing is like it's just it this person it was a phenomenon. And like I said, I
yes,
don't ever think I'll see anybody who like will be so l- just worldwide, a worldwide phenomenon. Like when he did the Super Bowl in
oh yeah,
I think it was the early 2000s. Even him just coming out on stage, he just for like 2 or 3 minutes, he didn't do anything. He was just standing there and looking at the audience, and they were going crazy, you
yeah,
know, because of who he was. You know, and like you said, he started when he was young with the Jackson 5, and
yeah,
they were a
yeah.
popular group even when he was a kid. And he just had this voice even as a kid that was this was not normal. Michael Jackson was not normal. And even that would dive into because of what comes with the popularity, of course, is also the negative rumors and things
Oh,
like that,
of course, yeah,
you know. But even I would say even in this bad album, like one of my favorite songs on this album is "Leave Me Alone," right? And
yep,
it's basically addressing all these rumors that people have about him, and they're like, and he's like, just why don't you just leave me alone, you know?
yeah, yeah,
And you know, and it was also its juxtaposition with, I'm actually helping you out, but you're treating me this way.
yeah,
And so that's one of my favorite songs on the album. But this videography was released in theaters. Um, everybody who was a Michael Jackson fan saw it, but again, it was just a a bunch of different Michael Jackson videos, and it was peppered with the Moonwalker story, which was the anti-drug story with Joe Pesci, who was actually in
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
uh,
He wasn't that. Yeah,
yeah. And so the video game is kind of the mirror of the story going through that. Now, the cool thing about the video game was you had these different Michael sounds where
yeah,
he would like do his woo, like his woo.
yeah.
He
All
would
the
do
time,
like, you know, yeah.
even in between the
What,
levels. Woo,
yeah,
woo.
you know. So you just have like this Michael sound. That was like also like the attract mode was it
Yes,
was playing Michael Jackson music. So like each stage had a different Michael Jackson song. And of course the first song was Smooth Criminal,
yep,
but it had Thriller, it had a bunch of different Michael Jackson songs, which was different to kind of hear in video
yes,
games.
yes.
But it was very interesting. Like it was a very well thought together video game. Now, is it the best video game I've ever played? No. Like, it's
Yeah, I
very
agree with
simple.
that. I agree with
It's
that.
a
Yeah.
very simple game. Um think I'm trying to think of what type of game it is. Like one of
It's,
those like Gunsmoke games
well,
where you're
I think it's like, well, with the arcade one, so you had the arcade and you had the Genesis. So the arcade was more, to me, it's, and, you could disagree, but I think the one for the arcade was like a beat 'em up. The one for the Genesis was more of a platformer. It was still a beat 'em up, but it was more because you had to jump over. I wouldn't say it's a platformer. I can't say that. I would say
yeah, the
it's
Genesis
more.
ones.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. It was more. It was. It wasn't like ISO. Um, like isometric. It wasn't like isometric like the arcade. It was more
Yeah.
like a
No,
Mario
it was. Yeah, I
2D
would
type
say
of
I would agree
thing.
with you.
Yeah,
I would agree with
yeah.
you that the Genesis version was a platformer. I think the arcade one was more like Gunsmoke. I don't know if you ever played that,
Oh
where
yes,
it's
yeah.
like you have the whole board and you're kind of like moving around, or Akari Warriors. That's actually what it's like.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Um,
I can kind of see that.
so I feel like that's what the base of the game was basically like Akari Warriors with the Michael Jackson Moonwalker skin on it.
Yeah, yeah,
And also your special was Michael doing a dance, like Michael basically pulling everyone into his dance, which was
yeah.
which
I
was
like that.
freaking it was freaking
I
awesome to see.
love that. Yeah, I love
It
that.
was it
Yeah,
was freaking awesome to see. Like, oh snap, they actually like, and it wasn't like one single, it was like different dances of his.
you know what's funny
Um
about that though? You know, it's
what?
when him and the dogs when he danced with the
Yeah,
dogs. They, and then and
yeah,
then after he dances with the people, they just blow up. Like they just
yeah.
close. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I like
So
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Moonwalker the video game definitely played on the Michael Jackson is an alien because that was the
yeah,
piece in the movie. Spoiler alert! I probably should have said that earlier. If you haven't seen Moonwalker in all these years, Michael Jackson basically plays an alien.
Yes.
Almost, I would say, like kind of like Automan, which is where because he can turn into a car, he can turn into a robot.
Which is also in the game.
Yeah. And even again, going back to the real big set piece in the Moonwalker movie was Club 30s,
yes,
which is where they did the whole Smooth Criminal thing.
Yep.
Again, this is another icon moment, was that whole set piece, because the way Michael is dressed, he's dressed like in the 30s, so you see him in this white suit. That's the other thing I really loved about this game, was how they did that. You could play up to four in the arcade version, you could play up to 4 characters, and it was all Michael Jackson in these different suits.
Yeah, different
one was
color
white,
suits.
one was black. Yeah,
yeah.
One was like maroon, and so it was like all these different suits. But they're actually, if you look at the Thriller, if you look back at the Moonwalker in the Club 30 set piece, all those suits are in there. And This is where he does that. He has this one piece in the Smooth Criminal set piece where they're doing this lean. And again, for years, it was just how did he do this lean? It was like 4 guys plus, or 3 guys plus Michael leaning at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that. I have no idea.
And it didn't come out till later that they actually had a special latch in their shoes that hooked them to the floor so they could lean forward.
Okay. Yeah, just like any other magic trick, there's always a little thing that.
That's the other thing I really liked about Michael Jackson, was he was basically a magician.
Yes.
A lot of his videos were him doing things that no one else was doing. Or you would have to you would scratch your head after and be like, what? How did he even do that? You know?
He's not even human. What are you talking about? He's normal for him. He's an alien.
He really leaned into that, being a magician. And I love that. I loved it. And I think everyone loved it, because it's that little kid part of you that's like, there's something really special about this guy, and his music. So in the video game, in the Moonwalker video game, it's playing up the I'll say the quote unquote story, because it's not really a story.
No, there's no story to this game. It's loosely based off the movie, right?
Right.
It's not really. Yeah, I mean, the gameplay is kind of redundant, right? You just in the arcade, it's a little bit more advanced. It's a little less redundant, but in the Genesis version, you're constantly you open up all the doors looking for the little girl, the blonde hair girl. Yeah, that's Sally, who was in the movie, and it's just like clones of her, right? It's not. Yeah. You keep finding her. You're like, wait, I already found you already. Why am I looking again?
I mean, the arcade was just a little bit. It had more than just Sally. It had all the kids.
Yes, yeah, had all the kids. Yeah.
But the idea was you would go around the stage. It was a dungeon crawler stage, and you would look for where these kids were. But in the midst of that, you would be fighting off all these different guys. Most of the characters were so the first stage. And let's forget again. I think it's Mr. X, Joe Pesci's character, Mr. Big.
Big. Yeah.
Joe Pesci's character in the movie is a drug dealer, and basically the story is he kidnaps kids, get them hooked on drugs, and Michael is there to stop it. Right? Michael comes down to stop it.
Yeah. Yes.
So in the game,
simple story.
Yeah, it's a simple story.
Yeah.
In the game, your job is to find these kids that Mr. Big has kidnapped and basically set them free. And in the midst of that, you're fighting off Mr. Big's army of between regular guys dressed like in their 30s to robots to dogs to zombies to
Ghost.
mechs.
There was
To
Ghost
mechs,
too.
yeah, to ghosts. So, but you're Michael Jackson, and you're again, it's a Akari warrior. So you're dodging
Yes.
the incoming bullets, and then you have a special power. Your special power, once you do it, everybody on the screen stops. They do a dance with you, and then basically they get eliminated.
Yes.
Like I said, seeing that as a kid. This game, I always wanted to play this game, but it's weirdly enough, I was short, so I couldn't like even see, because for whatever reason, the way it was built, it was like you would either have like the big tall with the four screens, but I was too young at the time to stand up, or it was
it
like
was pretty big. It was a big. I had to sit on. I had to stand on a. They had like a stool or something you could stand on for little kids.
For whatever reason, it was like it was a tall game at the arcade.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah, it was huge.
Or they had it flat, like the old Gunsmoke games where it was like a flat screen and then like the joysticks on the outside. But it was Michael Jackson, and this was a time we're hearing Michael Jackson music come out of an arcade machine.
Yeah,
we're hearing Michael Jackson's "Woo" come out from an arcade machine. It was crazy. It was like, I don't think people understand how crazy it was to see a legit Michael Jackson game, in the arcade.
Well, it's going to get a little crazier because we didn't mention Bubbles. He was in the movie.
Bubbles.
Bubbles
once you find him, you transform.
For everybody listening. Yeah.
And so Bubbles is Michael Jackson's monkey. And this is it was one of those things, like, this is early, again, mid 80s. This is probably right after Thriller. Michael Jackson gets this monkey, and he's like seen in pictures. They're doing photo shoots with him and things like that. And it's Bubbles the monkey. He's the first, it's not the first star we've seen with like monkeys, but he's the first star to actually have a monkey and like in his possession, right? Yeah. He's definitely the first black guy I've seen with a monkey, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen too many black guys with monkeys.
So Bubbles was this famous monkey that Michael had. Now later on we'll find out that, of course, with chimpanzees, they get crankier as they get older.
Yes.
And so it's harder to keep them in captivity. And later on, we'll find out that Michael Jackson, it was really a problem. Bubbles became a problem later as Bubbles got older. But everybody knew Michael Jackson had this monkey, and he appears in the game. And when you find Bubbles in a game, it creates a transformation.
Yeah.
So in the movie, Michael can transform into a car, which he also does in the game.
Yep.
And into this robot. And when you find Bubbles, you transform into this robot, and you have, I wouldn't say, like, instead of looking like Michael Jackson, instead of having like because that's the other thing, is like your finger is the gun in the game.
Yeah.
You become this robot, and your arms become like laser cannons.
Well, it also becomes like it becomes like a shmup. Like it comes like like when you're like there's like oh my goodness, I can't think. Like Gradius. That was like Gradius. It turns into something like Gradius, where you're shooting missiles and you're shooting a gun, right?
You're like, it's like you're powered up. Yeah, you're powered up.
Yeah.
So, but you're still, again, the same object is true, as you got to find these kids,
Yes. But you can't rescue the kids as Mecha Mike. You can't rescue the children as Mecha Mike. You cannot do that. At least in the Genesis version. I don't know about it.
Oh no, and they are in the arcade. Yeah, in the
I don't
arcade
think
you
you
can.
can.
I've actually
You can.
in the
Okay.
arcade you can. I've actually beaten the
Yeah.
arcade. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I played
yeah,
arcade too. I don't remember for the Mecha one. I know with the Genesis. That's the one I played for the show. I haven't played the arcade one in a while. But okay.
yeah,
I'll take your word on it.
yeah. The arcade one you can. The
Okay.
other thing that's interesting is when you finally, I guess, defeat a stage, like all these kids come running out in the arcade version to like greet you as Michael Jackson. Even if you're Mecha Michael, you'll turn back into regular Michael at the end of the stage where all these kids, and then you go to the next stage. Now, the Genesis version, I didn't play that. I played that at my cousin's house because he got it. And the first thing that happens is, and like you said, it's a platformer game. So it's like kind of set up
Yeah.
differently. But you start off in Club 30. And and it's cool because there's a scene in the movie when Michael goes into Club 30s, he has a coin and he flips the coin
Yes. I remember this.
across the room into the jukebox, and then Smooth Criminal started playing. They actually put that in the game
Yes.
as they could. So he walks in the door of Club 30s, he flips a coin, it hits the jukebox, and then you start playing the game. And I actually think the home game is a little bit like more risque because they have like the flapper, like the girl flappers,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
they like try to steal your like money, and you have to like stop them from doing that.
Yes. Yes.
Um, but you're still, the whole idea is searching for these uh kidnapped Sallies
Yeah.
across the stage.
Which I thought
Um,
was, like I said, I thought it was redundant, but you had to keep looking. I mean, the fighting, I like the fighting, but then you had to keep looking for the Sallies. Like, and you had to look at every door, unless you
the
memorize
other
the stage.
Yeah. The other thing in the home version, the Genesis version, was your magic would get low. Like
Yes.
you would like lose. So the thing is, again, Michael is magic. Um in the arcade you can still use your magic even if you're like losing power. But in the home version, you could use up your magic. And so from yeah, it basically was like you would sparkle, like point and sparkle people, shoot people
Well,
with sparkles,
if
or
you
you,
did the dance move, you lose health. You lose half your health.
yeah. So, but that's different from the arcade. The arcade
That's
gave you
different
like you
from
had like a yeah, but that's again at the home version you had like you could put I guess point, point sparkle or kick sparkle, right?
yeah, the sparkle.
And
Yeah.
as you're doing it, you're getting rid of the bad guys because they're just coming at you. It's 2D, it's platform.
Yep.
And then you're opening doors to see if you can find Sally. You can bring down like ladders and stuff to go up to different levels, and then you can do your dance, which was really still cool to see that they brought that to the home version. But
Yeah.
I feel like it had more effect because in the arcade version, it did different dances. In the home version, they just had one dance. Or if your life was too low, you could throw your hat like instead of like dance. Like if your power was too low, you would throw your hat and like take out enemies, fewer enemies than the dancing did. Like the dancing would cover the whole screen, but
Yes.
for your hat, it would only hit the people that were directly around you.
But it was still a good
Um,
move, though. That was a good, like throwing
yeah,
the hat was a really good move. I like that move.
yeah, but that just meant that your power was low. So,
Yeah. And
um,
another thing, like, is the Genesis version. Like, I mean, with arcade with the music. I mean, the music was great in the arcade, but
mhm.
what I was really impressed was with the Genesis MIDI. Like, the music was Michael Jackson's music, but it was in like Sega Genesis audio form, which I thought was pretty impressive. I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean, they really took their time. It wasn't like, again, this goes back to, I mean, I'm having flashbacks to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Uh, you have an arcade version that you're expecting to hit the home system, and it's not the same. Actually, they never
Yes.
bought the arcade. They never bought the arcade Michael Jackson game to a home system,
No,
which
no, they
is
did not.
depressing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think we used
because
to be
it was,
disappointed at this time. I think we're just
yeah.
used to being
Well,
disappointed.
this is like, yeah. So again, teenage, like the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade was not the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that came out on Nintendo.
Yes.
And that was really disappointing, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, that was a huge disappointment for a lot. Yeah,
So it's like,
tons of kids, tons of kids. Yes.
but I think like it's the arcade versus the home system, and really what kids want is what I'm playing in arcade. I want to see at my house,
Yes.
and it was really just a limitation of technology.
Yes.
But you know,
Yeah.
like I said, we've surpassed like I can carry arcade games on my phone now, which is crazy, you know. But I think it was just kind of sad we never got the arcade Moonwalker on a home system, because Genesis, I think the Genesis could have done it. If not the Genesis, then the 32X, or
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
easily. The 32X would have easily done it.
Or the Sega CD, that could have done it.
Yeah.
The
I was shocked it
Saturn could have
wasn't on
definitely
the
done it.
I was just shocked it wasn't on the Sega CD. I would
Yeah,
think it would be a great game for the Sega CD.
yeah. I'm not sure how it sold though. I don't was I'm sure it was popular, but I think they were like, yeah, we finished it. But for to not see the arcade version, especially they could, like I said, they could have did it on the 32X or the Sega CD. Um, is kind of like disheartening, because I was like, that's what everybody wanted to see. You know, the four, and they might have not done it because it's a 4-player game, even though you can play it single player or with 2 people.
Yeah.
But I've beaten it by myself multiple times.
Yeah, it can still
So
be done. It can still be done. Like, you can
yeah,
still have 2 players. You don't have to have all 4 players. It would still work.
yeah. I mean, they're playing. Like I played Ninja Turtles I beat the Ninja Turtles game by myself. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. It was well, you're saying, how it sold. It did do very well. It didn't do as good as like the other games at the time, like Sonic. Um,
mhm,
but it did really well because everybody liked the arcade version was what people loved, right? Which you
yeah,
already kind of described. Like the arcade version was really popular, so people wanted to have the same arcade quality game at home, like you just mentioned.
mhm,
And the reviews, like the critics praised the game, they praised the animations because they were great, and the music. And then Genesis, as we all know, is competing with Nintendo, so they were just trying to be cooler and hip. And I think this really helped Sega at the time with the console wars because they got Michael Jackson to partner with them to make a game. Nintendo didn't do that. That whole Genesis does what Nintendo marketing campaign. Like they
yeah.
were trying to be
Now I think
cool and
about it,
hip.
this
Yeah.
is like a really big exclusive too.
Yes. Yeah.
Like again, because Michael Jackson, again, it was a worldwide. You could only get Michael Jackson on the Sega Genesis, so you got
Yeah.
to buy that anywhere in the world. You got to buy that. So I mean, that's a big move for Sega.
Yeah.
Hmm. I never
And
thought
he
about it until now. Like
he
that's like
was
a
friends
big
with him.
exclusive.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, I mean, he knew people at Sega, and he had like a really close relationship with those those with his executives at Sega at not Sega Genesis, at Sega itself. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, they had an advantage, and he probably did it for like a low cost too. Like celebrities usually like, well, put me in a game, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, but
Yeah, I think this
yeah,
was I think
get a
this was thinking
relationship.
him thinking ahead.
Yes,
I
thinking
think
ahead.
this was
Yeah,
him thinking
yes,
ahead.
sir.
Like
Yeah,
again, the promotion of the Bad album,
yeah,
the Moonwalker movie, the video game. This is just a whole marketing. Like when you think of Sega, you think Michael, like kind of like Michael Jackson. When you think
yes,
of the that makes you want to get the Bad album. That makes you want to go see the Moonwalker movie. So it's just like marketing over what is it, vertical marketing, as they call it, or something like that. I
yeah.
forget what
It's
it's
like
called.
vertical marketing. Yeah,
So it's just he has these whole different lanes. Uh and it was everybody again loves Michael Jackson anywhere in the world. So this also probably moved more Sega units across the globe because
yeah.
now it's got a Michael Jackson game. And I don't know back then if they ever released a Michael Jackson. Oh, that would have been a cool thing to do. Because all right, so another thing that console they actually still do it today. Consoles will release with a particular game or two game. It would be even two games back in the day, right? Can you imagine if they did a Moonwalker Sega Genesis like release?
Oh, yeah, that would have been awesome if they did something
You
like
know?
that. I'm surprised they didn't do that.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't,
Yeah, that would have been a
Um
great promotion for Sega and Michael Jackson,
yep.
both of them. Yeah. Um, that's the crazy thing. Like this game did very well. I mean, it's not a bad game, but like I agree with you, it wasn't like the greatest game I ever played, but it wasn't a bad game at all. I've actually prefers, and I didn't play the arcade for the show, but I remember playing the arcade, and I remember the arcade was a lot better than the Genesis version, right? The
Yeah.
arcade was just way better. Um, Genesis version is not too bad either. It's just
It's
it's good.
different.
It's
Yeah,
different. Yeah,
it's different.
yeah,
It's different.
yeah. And I wouldn't say it's a
And
horrible game. It's a pretty good game. I mean, it's good. It's a great.
like I
It's not
said,
great, but it's good. It's a good game.
yeah, like I said, it's built on the engine of Akari
Yeah.
Warriors. If you ever played that, run and gun,
Yep.
you're moving around a board and you're just trying not to get shot. So,
Yeah. Pretty
and
much.
that's the other thing too, is like when you died in the game, you go, ooh, and you like it's
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's voice, and
Yeah.
then you get beamed down again from the star. So it's just a play on him being Michael Jackson. So
Yes.
like I said, I enjoyed it. It's not the greatest game I've ever played, but for what it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think that's
I thought it was good.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's takeaway. Now that we're having, I guess, the Michael Jackson hype return with this new movie that's coming out, I think you might see or hear more about these old games. I even wonder if they're gonna like make a new one, but I don't know how to.
Yeah.
It depends on. I feel like it depends on how the movie's received. But I also think like, hey, now you can release the arcade version. It would be nice. Put it on Steam. Put it on GOG.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah.
Put it up. Put it in the PlayStation Store. I think just really re-release it and be like, hey, Moonwalker.
Well, either will do that, or they'll do it like a promotional thing, like maybe make a short promotional game to kind of help the movie along, or after the movie to kind of uh, help with the hype for the movie, like maybe
Yeah,
like a promotional game, like a promotional short game, right? Not the full game, which I would like. I prefer what you are proposing, which is the full remade game. That would be nice. I would
yeah,
love to see. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so the the ability is there, I will say, but I don't know if people would do it. But the ability is there, and I would love to see the arcade on a home system. Um, it's just like I said, I really enjoyed it. As a kid, like I said, I was too short to play it when it was in the arcade. When
Being
it
at the
until they put
school.
it on the yeah until they put it on the like the flat one where it was
Yeah.
like you could play it on the flat screen. But yeah, the arcade machine was just too tall for me. But I really did. It was just really cool to see an icon in the arcade, the icon's music being played uh in the game. Like you can like I said, recognizing, oh, this is Thriller, this is Bad, this is Smooth Criminal. Like you're recognizing the songs in the
Yeah.
game while you're playing as Michael Jackson. So it was just I think that's just a really cool thing. I mean, I guess, basketball stars kind of had the same thing. Jordan
Yeah. Well, yeah.
had his
Jordan had
basketball game.
tons of
Charles
games.
Barkley
Yeah.
had a basketball game.
Yeah.
But there's no music that makes me think of Michael Jordan. Mike Tyson had a boxing game. So it's it's all in that same vein of these are people who are larger than life, like really popular at the time. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of golf people, Tiger Woods. It depends on like your genre also, right?
But they're all
So
like sports figures, right? The only like
yeah,
Michael Jackson was not a sports figure,
no, he
and
was a music. Yeah, it was a
he
music
was like the
figure, and
only
that
one
was
I can think of that had his own game, like musician. I mean, that had his
yeah.
own
I
game.
mean,
Yeah,
I'm trying to think like outside of that, and it was an action game. That's the other thing too,
that
right?
too. Yeah,
It wasn't in like you weren't. Well, they did actually. The Wii came out with the Michael Jackson
just
like
gonna mention that.
sing
Yeah,
dance thing.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
Michael,
just
um,
Michael, just dance. Yeah,
which was really cool.
yeah, that
But
was awesome.
there was nothing prior to that with a pop star. Yeah, I
No,
don't think of anything.
yeah,
And
I
so
don't
this
think of any other star or any other like we have all had like musicians that are great. But
yeah,
you're not going to see like a I don't know Queen game. You're not going to see
I don't see
uh,
I don't even think like Taylor, well, they say Taylor Swift is like the biggest pop star now. I don't see her doing a video game, you know.
no maybe and it might be a different time too. Like it really depends because Michael Jackson loved video games, right? Taylor Swift is not a gamer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, if a gamer ever got to that status,
Yeah,
they'd but yeah, I guess, you'd have to I don't know. I think if I was at that, yeah, I definitely would want a video game. I think it would be cool to have one. I'd have
yeah,
a
I
Streets
would
of Rage.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, Streets of Rage, like a where you get like a Shaq Fu type of thing, right? Like Shaq,
Oh
he had
yeah,
his own
see, yeah,
Shaq Fu.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that game was terrible. But
That's a great. That's a wonderful game.
yeah, it was. Oh
Yeah,
yes, it was so awesome.
yeah, Shaq
Uh,
Fu.
but he also had Shaq had he had a basketball game and he had that game. That was
Yeah,
weird. That was a weird time in like
and then
video game
Jordan had the
history.
Windy City. Jordan had
Yeah, that was
not
another
just
one.
yeah, he had the Windy City, which was another bad game
I
as
was like,
well.
why are these like basketball players doing these fighting games?
Yeah, just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Yeah. But
Yeah,
again, fighting games are popular. Well, like it goes in ebbs and flows because fighting games are popular and then they're not. So,
yeah, oh yeah,
um,
yeah, and that's the thing. Like whatever's popular at the time, you know, that's what the developers are going to try to like. like when Shaq Fu came out, fighting games were pretty popular. Shaquille O'Neal, he likes video games, and he wanted to do not a basketball, which makes more sense. Like like you just mentioned, Barkley, Shut Up and Jam,
Yeah.
um,
Yep.
Jordan versus Bird. Like Shaq didn't want a basketball game. He wanted. I don't know why he wanted it, but he wanted that, which was. But I think is they jumped at it because it's a fighting game, and fighting games were popular at that time.
Yeah. So, but going back, like you're right, it's no pop icon, like no music pop icon. I can't think of a game. I can't I couldn't I mean maybe I could imagine Prince doing a video game, but I don't think that he
Uh,
liked video games. So
no, he's not a gamer. I can already
no.
tell you he's not a gamer.
So I mean he couldn't get the Purple Rain video game. It'd be like
That would be nice. That would be nice. Might
you
be
know,
better than the
I
movie.
almost, you know what? Well, yeah. I almost want to see like the Moonwalker, but with like a Prince like skin on it, and like hearing Prince music and like Prince the like doing his like woo, whatever his woo
That
is and stuff
is,
like that,
I can see a
and
fan
like
doing that. A fan game, what
yeah,
you
I'm
say?
like yeah. So or like if the Moonwalker game comes out on Steam, like somebody reskins it with like Prince, I would definitely play
Oh, that would be. I'm actually. It's funny when you mentioned that. I'm looking it up
it.
to see if there is a game where and I don't see any. I don't see any mods. I
Yeah,
can see someone doing that though. I could
yeah,
see
I
someone
would.
doing that game. Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Prince is my favorite artist. So,
yeah, I like Prince. Prince was up there with Michael Jackson. I don't know if he was as great as Michael Jackson, but he
oh
was
no,
he was up there. He was up there
yeah,
though. Prince was really good.
my I can be honest and be like Michael Jackson is has outdone Prince. Like I said, Michael Jackson was going to areas where they were like, yeah, nah, you like with gangs, you can come here, it's cool, don't worry about it. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
he's
He had
meeting
that respect.
world dignitaries. Like he's going to different countries, meeting dignitaries, all that kind of stuff. Like and this would be like the deep. This is back in the '80s, deep sub-Saharan Africa. They knew who Michael Jackson was, and they
Oh,
would barely have electricity back then. So
yeah,
this guy, this guy was a world phenomenon, and to have a video game, and like I said, it's not a bad video game. To have that is something to have another feather in your cap. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. He was, and I did look it up. There are other games, but there's the first one was definitely Michael Jackson. I mean, there's like the Beatles, Rock Band. Katy Perry had a Sims 3 type of add-on, but it wasn't a game. It was just Katy Perry. I'm sorry, Katy Perry themed Sims 3, right? It was just like a expansion pack. The
yeah. So
BTS
not
people, they got games, but the bands, like I don't see like a performer, right? Like Michael Jackson
right.
by
But
himself,
it's
right?
but those are like so the Sims is already created. Like if
Well, of
Katy Perry
course,
had her, but this was created for Michael Jackson.
yes, it
You
was,
know,
yes, yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
It
like
was,
to me is different than the rest because they're being added on to other people. But his game was his like it was designed for him, and his story.
well, the only one that was around that time, and it's not really that popular. Peter Gabriel, you remember Peter Gabriel, right?
Yeah, I know Peter. Yeah,
He had a he had a game that just had his work that had explored his work, but it wasn't Peter Gabriel. I mean, he was Talking Heads, but you're not gonna
yeah,
you're not going to remember Peter Gabriel over Michael Jackson. So
I mean,
they were
was that in
doing
the
it.
arcade?
No, it was just a CD-ROM game. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I
a.
mean,
It wasn't
Prince had
anything
a
big.
Prince had a CD-ROM game,
Prince,
which I still I still have my Prince CD-ROM game.
a game?
Um, it's like you explore this was back in the 90s, 93, I think it came out.
Oh yeah,
Prince
Prince
It's
Interactive.
interactive.
Yeah, you already
Yeah,
looked it
I
up.
still
Yeah,
have it.
yeah. That's a point and click game now.
Yep.
But it wasn't. You don't play as him, right? You just explore
No.
his
You're
life.
just exploring is like different stuff.
Oh, okay. I
Paisley
see.
Park. You would see like music videos on there. So it wasn't to me, true video game. It was kind of like, again, you explore all this different stuff.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
Encarta, like the Encarta Encyclopedia for him.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But that was for that time for artists. That was also cutting edge
Yeah.
because not a lot of artists were doing that.
Yeah.
But the video, to me, the arcade / Sega video game beats trumps that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You're not playing as Prince beating up people, right?
yeah,
Even though I would love to see that now. Now you mention it. Now I want
I
to
mean,
see
that would be awesome.
I would love to do that. Maybe I can build it. One of us will build it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I thought I would see that on. I'd be surprised if it's not out there. I'm sure some fan put that out there somewhere, but I love
Yes.
that. That would be interesting.
Like I said, Streets of Rage with Prince, I would do it. I would play
I would
it.
love that. I would love that. Or kind of like a Streets of Rage with all the performers from the '80s. You have Madonna.
Oh yeah,
You had
that would be so cool.
Cyndi Lauper, Michael
Yeah.
Jackson, and then Prince, and whoever else you want to add to that. Or
What is it?
we are the world people. We are the world people.
The what is it? The Mugen? Yeah, Mugen. I don't know. It depends on how you pronounce it. Mugen, the fighting game,
Yes.
system. Like they
Yes.
have like Michael Jack, all those different characters, so I'm sure somebody could do it.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I would definitely love to play something where you can like the performers fighting each other. That'd be pretty interesting actually. Just seeing different
Yeah.
performers just fighting and then they have their own kind of like a Smash Brothers type of thing, but for performers.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty interesting. Yeah. Well,
Mm.
that is the Moonwalker. The Moonwalker, good game, but might need a little bit of work, but still a good game by an amazing performer.
Yeah.
What are your final thoughts?
If you've never watched MoonWalker, the movie, watch it. But like I said, it's just a bunch of different videos. There's not really a story. If you can play the arcade version, play the arcade version. Then I'd also then after the arcade version, play the Genesis version. If you're a Michael Jackson fan, you've probably seen Moonwalker, and you probably played. Most likely, you played the Genesis version. But if you haven't played the arcade version, try to play the arcade version. So,
And finally, what is your rating for the arcade version and the Genesis version?
I'll rate the arcade version a 6.
Okay, that's what I gave it. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Okay.
6 out of 10. And then I'll rate the Genesis version a 4 out of 10. Only because I wanted to.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, 4 out of 10.
Because I wanted to see the arcade version at home. I didn't get it, but I still played the Genesis version. So But yeah, those are my ratings.
Okay. Yeah, the Genesis version was a disappointment. But it is what it is. Like, the Genesis wasn't going to be like the arcade, but we were expecting at least the gameplay to be similar, and it wasn't. So it was again, it was a good game by a great performer. Um, and I really did like talking about this game with you. I think this is a great idea to put out there, and I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me. I always like to have these conversations about uh, the deep in the crates video games.
Yeah.
So, and like just talking about Michael Jackson is pretty cool. Like I really like him as an artist. And like I said, most people who grew up like seeing this phenomenal performer, well, no, I'm not going to see it again in my lifetime. So it was just like really cool to see how explosive and forward thinking he was to have his own video game
And
in
that's
the
the
arcade
thing.
and at home. Yeah,
And that's the thing. Like he's so like my kids love his videos. And they, you know, it's not just like, you know, we're old and we're like, this is the greatest of all time because he's from our generation. No, my kids watch him and they can't stop watching his videos. That's how amazing he is, even to this new generation. He his music is great. You just can't like I don't see like the new generation being like, I don't like his music. It's not that great. I just can't see anybody saying that.
yeah. It's the universality of his
Yeah.
music.
Yes.
Everybody, everybody can find a song they like. Everybody can find a video they like. That it was just amazing. And again, like the forward thinking to use, arcade technology, Genesis, look at the Genesis. These are things to get into the homes and the minds of people. The Moonwalker concept itself, you know, artists, a lot of artists want to go the actor route. Some of them can't act. I think Michael
Mhm.
Jackson knew his limitations. That's why if you look at Moonwalker, it's just a video. It's kind of a videography,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So it's just like these are the songs you're going to hear on this album, and just tying everything together with video games brings in another group of people that might not have listened to the bad album that now are going to listen to that album. And I think that's kind of genius. It's about how far can your reach extend. I got the people who are going to listen to the album. I got the people who are going to go to the movie to see this. I got the people in the arcades, and I got the people on the home systems. So it's just kind of
Yeah.
just genius marketing.
Yeah. And like you said, he stayed in his lane. There's a lot of very talented celebrities still won't stay in their lane. And
Yeah.
we mentioned Shaq. Like Shaquille O'Neal was a great basketball player, but when it came to rapping, he wasn't like that great. Or Beyonce, like she's a great singer, but her acting skills are not that great, right? It's just you can't be great at everything. Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
he played great basketball player. He tried baseball. He was okay, but he wasn't great at baseball. So just stick with what you're good at. And that's what Michael Jackson was really, really actually good at, was he stayed in his lane and stayed with what he was good at.
Yeah. So yeah, this was cool. This was cool. And like I said, I like the game, but and it was like a f- just like him, it was another phenomenon to hear like Michael Jackson music in the arcade or Michael Jackson music like on the Genesis. So
Yeah, yeah. It was an amazing time. Amazing time. All right, my friend. Well, thank you again for another amazing episode. And we should talk about Shaq Fu one of these episodes. But for now, we will close. And again, I appreciate it, my friend. This has been another fun time.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, make sure you keep listening, and we appreciate it. We really do. Thank you.
Even though I was a huge Michael Jackson fan, I love the arcade version better than the Sega Genesis version, even though the Genesis version was not that bad. I enjoyed the music and the gameplay was pretty unique at the time, with Michael Jackson using magic for fighting enemies instead of his physical fists for punching and his legs for kicking. I gave the arcade version a 6 out of 10, and I gave the Genesis version a 4 out of 10. If it wasn't for the repetitive gameplay in the Genesis version, I would have given it a higher rating, because the game had a lot of potential, and of course, I have to give the soundtrack its due. So, thank you again for joining us on Cartridge Chronicles. Keep your controllers ready and your adventures endless. We will catch you in the next episode. Until then, don't stop gaming.